जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत साधी गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कंचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदानेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरे। बोलो श्री राधे गुरु करंद भगवान की जय।
जय
बोलो श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।
जय
श्री ओम। हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्ण।
तो कल हम लोग 51st अध्याय पढ़ रहे थे 10th स्कंद का। और जैसा कि इसमें हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, जरासंध 7 बार अटैक करता है और 8वीं बार इवन काल यवन, इसको नारद जी ने बोला होता है, ही कम्स एंड ऑल्सो अटैक्स मथुरा। और काल यवन मथुरा को अटैक करता है तो भगवान कृष्ण उस समय सोचते हैं कि काल नयन को वरदान होता है कि उसको मारा नहीं जा सकता कोई भी वेपन से। और एक्चुअली कल आप पूछ रहे थे अनिल जी काल यवन की हिस्ट्री के
ये
बारे में। तो काल यवन गर्ग ऋषि होते हैं,
अच्छा।
उनका यदुवंश में किसी ने अपमान कर दिया होता है।
हम्म।
तो अपमान करने से फिर यदुवंश में गर्ग मुनि तपस्या करते हैं कि यदुवंश से रेवेंज लिया जाए।
हम्म।
और वो भगवान शिव जी की तपस्या करते हैं गर्ग मुनि 12 साल तक।
हम्म।
12 साल तक तपस्या करने के बाद में उनको काल यवन पुत्र पैदा होता है और उसको वरदान होता है कि उसको वेपन से भी नहीं मारा जा सकता।
अच्छा।
तो ये भगवान कृष्ण को ऑफ कोर्स पता होता है। तो इसलिए भगवान कृष्ण बिना युद्ध किए
हम्म।
छोड़कर द्वारिका नगरी बसा लेते हैं रात को और सबको ट्रांसपोर्ट कर देते हैं। उस समय भगवान का नाम भी रण छोड़ पड़ जाता है उस समय।
हम्म।
नहीं
हम्म।
कहते युद्ध की भूमि छोड़कर, ये बहुत बड़ा बात है, तो
जी।
रण छोड़ का नाम पड़ जाता है। बट वो काल यवन की स्टोरी है। तो इसलिए फिर काल यवन को भगवान केव तक ले जाते हैं क्योंकि इसको किसी वेपन से नहीं मारा जा सकता। और वहां पर ये अपने अ, मचुकंद राजा
हम्म।
जो होते हैं पुराने जमाने में, जिनको भी अ, वरदान हो, आई मीन ही वांटेड टू स्लीप फॉर अ लॉन्ग टाइम क्योंकि मोक्ष का वरदान नहीं होता है
हम्म।
भाई। देवताओं ने उसको सोने का वरदान देते हैं। और वो जैसा कि हम लोग पढ़ रहे थे, काल यवन उनके ऊपर पैर रखता है और वो उड़ जाते हैं और उनकी दृष्टि से काल यवन भस्म हो जाता है। तो एक काल यवन की स्टोरी होती है। और फिर मचुकंद को भगवान दर्शन देते हैं। तो वो भगवान कृष्ण का दर्शन करके प्रार्थना करता है और भगवान कृष्ण को पूछ रहा है कि आप कौन है, कहाँ बर्थ लिया है। और इसका जवाब हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं। हम्म? तो
जी।
भगवान कृष्ण
हम्म।
मुचुकंद को बता रहे हैं कि वो कौन है। तो यहाँ से शुरू करते हैं वापस।
जी हाँ। श्री भगवान उवाच जन्म कर्मा विधानि दानानि सन्ति मेंग सहस्रशः न शक्यन्ते अनुसंख्यातु मनन्तत्वा न मयापि हि। The Supreme Lord said, my dear friend, I have taken thousands of births, lived thousands of lives, and accepted thousands of names. In fact, my births, activities, and names are limitless, and thus even I cannot count them. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण। तो भगवान बता रहे होते हैं मुचुकुंद को कि टेकन जन्म कर्म भी अभिधानानी, यानी कि नाम, जन्म कर्म और नाम सहस्त्रशः, या इतने सारे ले लिए हैं, न शक्यन्ते अनुसंख्यातुम, कोई काउंट नहीं कर सकता, न मैं भी काउंट नहीं कर सकता हूँ, इतने बर्थ और नाम उनके हैं। कचित रंजासी विव में पार्थिवान्युरुज जन्म भी गुण कर्माभि आधानानि न मे जन्मानि कहिचित। आफ्टर मेनी लाइफ टाइम्स someone might count the dust particles on the earth, but no one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names and births. तो भगवान कृष्ण आगे कह रहे हैं मुचकंद को कि कचित रज आंसी, लाइक जो रज के पार्ट्स हैं, dust particles on earth, probably somebody can count जन्म आफ्टर जन्म, अरु जन्म भी on this earth, right? Someone might count the dust particles on the earth after many lifetimes. But gun karma abhidhanani na me janmani kahit chita hai. No one can ever finish counting my qualities, activities, names and births. ये भगवान कृष्ण स्वयं मचकंद को बता रहे
कालत्रयोपपन्नानि जन्म कर्माणि मे नृप अनुक्रमन्तो नेवान्तं गच्छन्ति परमर्षयः. O King, the greatest sages enumerate my births and activities which take place throughout the three phases of time, but never do they reach the end of them. Hare Krishna.
हैं। So basically saying that परम ऋषि है, परम ऋषि जो होते हैं, जैसा कि हम लोग सुनते रहते हैं, भगवान की गाथा गाते रहते हैं, भगवान की कथाएं करते रहते हैं, उनके अवतारों की, उनकी एक्टिविटीज की, लेकिन फिर भी कोई उसका अंत नहीं पाता। अनुक्रमंतो नेवांतम गच्छन्ति इज व्हाट भगवान से। तथाप्यदनान्त्यंग सिनेष्व गदितो मम विज्ञापितो विरिच्येन पुराहं धर्मगुप्ते भूमेर्भारयमाना नाम सुराणां क्षयाय च अवतीर्णो यदुकुले गृहे आनक धुंदुभे वदन्ति वासुदेवेति वसुदेव सुतं हिमाम्। None delays, O friend. I will tell you about my current birth, name and activities. Kindly hear. Some time ago, Lord Brahma requested me to protect religious principles and destroy the demons who were burdening the earth. Thus, I descended in the Yadu dynasty in the home of Anakadundubi. Indeed, because I am the son of Vasudev, people call me Vasudev. तो भगवान कृष्ण बता रहे हैं कहाँ बर्थ लिया है, क्योंकि लॉर्ड ब्रह्मा जी ने उनसे रिक्वेस्ट किया है, सो धर्म को बसाने के लिए वापस से उन्होंने इन द होम ऑफ अनक धुंदुबी इज द अनदर नेम ऑफ वासुदेव जी महाराज। अनक धुंदुबी बिकॉज इट्स लाइक धुंदुबी बजाते हैं, जब वासुदेव जी हुए थे उनका जन्म, तो इसलिए उनका नाम अनक धुंदुबी भी है, और इसलिए कृष्ण भगवान बता रहे हैं कि उनको वासुदेव भी करते हैं।
कालनेमिर्हतः कंसः प्रलम्बाद्याश्च सदृशः अयं च यवनो दग्धो राजंस्ते तिग्म चक्षुषा. I have killed Kalnemi, reborn as Kansa, as well as Pralamba and other enemies of the pious. And now, O king, this barbarian has been burned to ashes by your piercing lance. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा। एंड फिर भगवान बता भी रहे हैं कि he has killed the Kans, and Kans was Kalnemi in the previous birth, and Lord Vishnu actually had also killed Kalnemi, right? But then when he was killed, Kans had the full hatred against Lord Vishnu at that time, and so he was reborn as a Kans, and then again Bhagwan had to kill. So aham tava anugrahat गृहामेतामुपागतः पार्थिव प्रचुरम पूर्व त्वयाहं भक्तवत्सलः. Since in the past you repeatedly prayed to me, I have personally come to this cave to show you mercy, for I am affectionately inclined to my devotees. Yeah? Bhagavan Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala, and of course, uh, Muchukund, he doesn't remember the previous births, but Bhagavan is saying that you have been my devotee in the previous birth, right? It is apparent from this verse that Muchukund was a devotee of the Supreme Lord. He had prayed for the Lord's association, and now Sri Krishna is granting his fervent request.
वरान् वृषीणीश्च राजर्षे सर्वान् कामान् ददामि ते मा प्रसन्नो जनः कश्चिन्न भूयो अहीति शोचितुम्. Now choose some benedictions from me, O saintly king. I will fulfill all your desires. One who has satisfied me need never again lament. The Acharyas explain that we lament when we feel incomplete, when we have lost something, or when we fail to achieve something desirable. One who has satisfied Krishna and thus attained the Lord's mercy will never be troubled in these ways. Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, and he enjoys sharing his spiritual bliss with all living beings. We need only cooperate with the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? Lord Krishna is the reservoir of all pleasure, right? And we need his spiritual bliss. And Bhagwan is saying, माम प्रसन्नो जन, भगवान खुद बता रहे हैं कि जो मुझे प्रसन्न कर लेता है, कश्चिन भूयो अहिते शोचितो, never again, one who has satisfied me need never again lament. श्री शुकवाच इतयुक्तस्तं प्रणम्याह मुचुकुंदो मुदान्वितः ज्ञात्वा नारायणं देवं गर्गवाक्य मनुस्मरणम्. Sukdev Goswami said, Muchukund bowed down to the Lord when he heard this. Remembering the words of the sage Garg, he joyfully recognized Krishna to be the Supreme Lord, Narayan. The king then addressed him as follows. Yeah. So Muchukund then realized he is none other than Lord Shri Krishna, Narayan, and then he says, speaks.
Although the Lord here appears as four-handed Narayan, we may say that Muchukunda was addressing Sri Krishna. All of this is taking place within the context of Krishna Lila, the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It is well known to Vaishnavas that the four-handed forms of Vishnu or Narayan are expansions of Sri Krishna. Thus, within the pastimes of Lord Krishna, there may also appear Vishnu Lila, the activities of Vishnu. Such are the qualities and activities of the Supreme Godhead. Deeds that for us would be extraordinary and even impossible are commonplace, effortless pastimes for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srila Sridhar Swami informs us that Muchukunda was aware of the prediction of the ancient sage Garg that in the 28th millennium the Supreme Lord would descend. According to Acharya Vishwanatha, Garg Muni further informed Muchukunda that he would personally see the Lord. Now it was all happening. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So basically, Bhagwan Krishna gives his introduction that he has taken so many births and all that. No one can even count, not even anyone. You can count the dust particles if you take multiple births, but still you can never count the names, Janma, Karma, or multiple names of Lord Sri Krishna is what is mentioned. So then Muchukund realizes that he is none other than Narayan, and then he sees the Narayan Swarup, and then he speaks to Lord Sri Krishna as follows. Hare Krishna, Nisha.
Hare Krishna. Shri Muchukunda Uvacha Vimohito ayam jana ishamayaya tvadiya tvanam bhaja bhajatyanarthadrika सुखाय दुःख प्रभवेषु सज्जते गृहेषु योषित पुरुषश्च वंचितः. Sri Muchukund said, O Lord, the people of this world, both men and women, are bewildered by your illusory energy, unaware of their real benefit. They don't worship you, but they don't worship you, but instead seek happiness by entangling themselves in family affairs which are actually sources of misery. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What Muchukund is saying to the Lord is that everybody's ईश माया, भगवान की ये जो माया है, विमोहितो अयम, they are all vimohit, right? They are all bewildered by this maya, as we all know, and they think sukhaya dukkha prabhaveshu sajjate, in the graheshu and all the other materialistic stuff is where the pleasure is, and because of that they tvam na bhajatyan artatik, so they don't worship you, right? So we see like 95%, 99% people, they don't worship, they're just trying to find out some benefit in the materialistic world, is what Sri Muchukund is saying. They don't know that Lord Shri Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Anilji?
Muchukunda immediately makes it clear that he is not going to ask the Lord for material blessings. He has advanced spiritually far beyond those who try to exploit religion for all kinds of material benefits. Artha means value, and the negation of this word, anarth, means that which is valueless or useless. Thus, the term anarth drak indicates those whose vision is focused on valueless things, who have not understood what actual earth or value is. All that glitter is not gold, and Muchukunda here emphatically states that we should not ruin our spiritual chances by engaging ourselves in the fool's gold of bodily relationships. We are meant to love the Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so what Muchukund is saying is that we don't want to ruin our chance. Taking a human birth is a chance. We don't know what we were before. We don't know what will be in future. But currently we know that, we have human body, and human body is our chance for spiritual advancement. This is our chance for loving the Lord, surrendering to the Lord, doing the devotional service. But what Muchukund is saying is that, people just lose that benefit. But he's saying that he is not going to ask the Lord for material blessings. Yeah. Labdava jano durlabh matra manusham katachidhavyangamayatra rohanad padararavindam na bhajatya sanmati grihand kupe patito yatha pashuha. That person has an impure mind who, despite having somehow or other automatically obtained the rare and highly evolved human form of life, does not worship your lotus feet. Like an animal that has fallen into a blind well, such a person has fallen into the darkness of a material. Yeah, exactly what we are talking about. Despite having somehow getting this rare birth, yeah, durlabh matra manusham. Labdhva, somehow we got the benefit. Durlabh, which is of getting a manusha, human body, but somehow we are not padar arvindam, we are not doing the devotional service to the Lord Shri Krishna's feet. We are not bhajatya sanmati, and that's like Pashu who has fallen into a andhakupe, yeah, who has fallen into the well. Like an animal that has fallen into a blind well, such a person has fallen into the darkness of a material home, is what is mentioned. Because despite having somehow or other, we don't know how we have got the human body, right? We have no idea. We don't know what we have done in the past, right? None of us knows how many births and all that. But somehow we have got this opportunity of human form of life, right? Hare Krishna, Tarun.
Hare Krishna. Our real home is in the kingdom of God. Despite our tenacious determination to remain in our material home, death will rudely eject us from the theater of material affairs. To stay at home is not bad, nor is it bad to devote ourselves to our loved ones. But we must understand that our real home is eternal in the spiritual kingdom. The word ayatnataha indicates that human life has been automatically awarded to us. We have not constructed our human bodies, and therefore we should not foolishly claim this body is mine. The human form is a gift of God and should be used to achieve the perfection of God consciousness. One who does not understand this is asanmati, possessed of dull, mundane understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so many things are being mentioned here, right? First is this body is not ours, right? I think we all agree to that. I mean, we say it's our body, but actually it's not ours, right? Somebody has given it to us, yeah? And it's mentioned that we have not constructed our human bodies. We know that we haven't done the construction, it has been given to us. The human form is a gift of God and should be used to achieve the perfection of God consciousness. Yeah? Anilji?
ममेश कालो अजित निष्फलो गतो राज्यश्रियो योत्र तद् मदस्यः भूपतेः मर्त्यात्मबुद्धे सुतदार कोशभू श्वास सज्जमानस्य दुरंत चिंतया. I have wasted all this time, O unconquerable one, becoming more and more intoxicated by my domain and opulence as an earthly king, misidentifying the mortal body as the self, becoming attached to children, wives, treasury, and land. I suffered endless anxiety. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this?
Muchukund is saying that.
Right? And Muchukund was the one who was protecting all the devatas.
Yeah.
Right? We read that Muchukund was protecting all the devatas from the demons for a long, long, long time. Right? And he is saying this, that he was more and more intoxicated by domain and opulence as earthly king, because he was the king and he was protecting everyone. Right? He was into that mode of loving his body, mortal body as the self. His body is very. Martyatma buddhe. And he says, Kalo ajit nishphalo gato. Says like he was totally into that. And then attached and suffered endless anxiety. Says that having in the previous verse condemned those who misuse the valuable human form of life for mundane purposes, Muchukund now admits that he himself falls into this category. Yeah, he intelligently wants to take advantage of the Lord's association and become a pure devotee once and for all. Yeah, like same thing for us, right? We are also using this human form of life for mundane purposes, right? All of us. And Muchukund also did that. He admits that he did that. And then now he wants to get to the pure devotion. Nisha?
कलेवरे अस्मिन् घटकुड्य सन्निभे निरूढमानो नरदेव इत्यहम् वृतो रथे भाष्व पदात्यनिकपेर्गा पर्यटं स्थागणयन् सुदुर्मदः. With deep arrogance, I took myself to be the body, which is a material object like a pot or a wall. Thinking myself a god among men, I traveled the earth surrounded by my charioteers, elephants, cavalry, foot soldiers, generals, disregarding you in my deluding pride. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So he is describing his activities, Muchukund, right? But he's doing a lot of things here. Saying like I took this body, and then he's saying body is nothing but like a material object, like a pot or a wall. Right? Like Ghat Kud Anya Sannibhe. And then he's saying like he moved around, he traveled to the earth, right? Thinking he is the God among men. Of course, there are so many people here, right, in this world who think they are God, right? So many people who think they are most powerful people in the world, right? And disregarding Lord in that process, right? Just having the bride. So,
Pramattam Uchair iti krita chintaya pravraddha lobham visayesu lalasam tvam apramata sahas sabhipadyase shul le lihano hir ivakum antaka. Hare Krishna. A man obsessed with thoughts of what he thinks needs to be done, intensely greedy and delighting in sense enjoyment, is suddenly confronted by you who are ever alert. Like a hungry snake licking its fangs before a mouse, you appear before him as death. We may note here the contrast between the words pramattam and apramataha. Those who are trying to exploit the material world are pramata, deluded, bewildered, maddened by desire. But the Lord is apramata, alert, sober, and unbewildered. In our madness, we may deny God or His laws, but the Lord is sober and will not fail to reward or punish us according to the quality of our activities. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So the law of karma is going to stay there, is what is being mentioned, right? And पुरारते हम परिष्कृतेश्वरं मन्त्र गर्जेवार नरदेव संगीतः सैव कालेन दुरुत्ययेन ते कलेवरो विटकृम्भि भस्म संगीतः. The body that at first rides high on fierce elephants or chariots adorned with gold and is known by the name king is later by your invincible power of time called faces, worms, or ashes. Yeah. Who is saying this?
Muchukund.
Yeah, right? Muchukund is talking to whom?
Sri Krishna.
Lord Sri Krishna, right? First, Muchukund asks Lord Sri Krishna, who are you? Give the introduction. Then Lord Sri Krishna tells him he has taken unlimited number of births, names, etc., etc., etc. Then he tells him, but in this life he is Vasudeva, yeah, born to Vasudeva Maharaj. And then Muchukund realizes that he is none other than Lord Narayan because Garg Muni had told him. And then he is glorifying the God. And then he's also saying, like, we are so fools that we are so attached to the human body, is what he's describing. So, what he's saying, and he's talking about himself because he was the king, right? He was the most powerful king, who was even protecting the Devatas. So, he's saying that this body first did this, yeah, riding high on the elephants and everything else. And this body was called the king, right? So, what's saying is that but then sa ev kalena dhrutyena te. But then it doesn't matter how smart or how big the king was. When the kal comes, kal is the time. When the time comes, then bhasma sangitah. The body is nothing other than the bhasma, is what he's saying. Yeah, is known by the name king, later by the time and the Lord's invincible power of time. It's cold, it gets into the ashes, is what is mentioning. Right? Very nice, bro. Let's read this. Hare Krishna, Rinaji.
Hare Krishna, Bhaiya. In the United States and other materially developed countries, dead bodies are cosmetically disposed of in a tidy ceremonial way, but in many parts of the world, old, sickly, and injured people die in lonely or neglected places, where dogs and jackals consume their bodies and transform them into stool. And if one is so blessed as to be buried in a coffin, one's body may very well be consumed by worms and other minuscule creatures. Also, many earthly cadavers are burned and thus transformed into ashes. In any case, death is certain, and the ultimate fate of the body is never sublime. This is the real purport of Muchkunda's statement here that the body, though now called king, prince, beauty queen, upper middle class, and so on, will eventually be called stool, worms, and ashes. Sri Sridhar Swami quotes the following Vedic statement: Yone sahasrani bahuni gatva dukhen labdhavapi cha manustavam Sukhavaham ye na bhajanti Vishnum te vai manusyatmani satru bhuta. After passing through many thousands of species and undergoing great struggle, the conditioned living entities finally obtain the human form. Thus, those human beings who still do not worship Lord Vishnu, who can bring them real happiness, have certainly become enemies of both themselves and humanity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the only way of getting out of this whole materialistic world madness is to surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. Right? Is what is mentioned. Anilji?
निर्जित्य दिक्चक्रं भूत विग्रहो वरासनस्थः सम्राजवन्दितः ग्रहेषु मैथुन्य सुखेषु योषितां क्रीडामृगः पुरुष ईशनीयते. Having conquered the entire circle of directions and being thus free of conflict, a man sits on a splendid throne, receiving praise from leaders who were once his equals. But when he enters the women's chambers, where sex pleasure is found, he is led about like a pet animal, O Lord. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Nisha?
करोति कर्माणि तपः सुनिष्ठितो निवृत्तभोगस्तपेक्षयाददत् पुनश्च भूयासमहं स्वराडिति प्रवृत्तर्षो न सुखाय कल्पते. A king who desires even greater power than he already had strictly performed his duties, carefully practicing austerity and foregoing sense enjoyment, but he whose urges are so rampant, thinking I am independent and supreme, cannot attain happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Tarun?
भव पवर्गो भ्रमतो यदा भवेत् जनस्य तर्हि अच्युत सत् समागमः सत्संगमो यर्हि तदेव्य सद्गतः परावरसे त्वयि जयते मतिः. When the material life of a wandering soul has ceased, O Achyuta, he may attain the association of your devotees. And when he associates with them, there awakens in him devotion unto you, who are the goal of the devotees and the Lord of all causes and their effects. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what Muchukund is saying is, after the Brahmato Yada Bhave, right? After all this, yeah, bhava, like the material existence, there is a time when you get the Sat Samagama. Yeah, you get Satsang. You get, right, the togetherness with the sons. You get the Sat Sangamo Yahi Tadev Shadatu. And when that happens, that's the time, yeah, when that awakens the devotional service unto all the people, right? After the material life is ceased. That's when they attend the association of your devotees, satsang, and then that's where they get awakened, they associate with them and they learn that Lord is the ultimate cause and effect, and we need to devote our time to Him, right? So what is mentioned, Rinaji?
Acharyas Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti agree on the following point. Although it is stated here that when material life ceases one attains the association of devotees, in fact, it is the association of the Lord's devotees that enables one to transcend material existence. Srila Jiva Goswami explains this apparent inversion of sequence by quoting the Kavya Praksha 10.153 as follows. Karya Karanyos cha पूर्वपर्या विपर्ययो विजनेयते संयोक्तिः स्यात् सा. A statement in which the logical order of a cause and its effect is reversed should be understood as atisyokti, emphasis by extreme assertion. Srila Jiva Goswami cites the following commentary on this statement. Karanasya कारणस्य शीघ्र कारितं वक्तुं कार्यस्य पूर्वं युक्तौ. To express the swift action of a cause, one may assert the result before the cause. In this connection, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti points out that the merciful association of the Lord's devotees makes possible our determination to become Krishna conscious. And the Acharya agrees with Srila Jiva Goswami that this verse is an instance of Atishayokti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Basically, it's the association of the Lord's devotees which helps us in understanding the Lord, is what is mentioned. Yeah. Manye mamanugraha ishute krito rajanubhandapagamo yadrikshaya यह प्रार्थ्यते साधुभिरे कचर्यया वरम विवेक्ष्य द्विराखंड भूमि पे है. My Lord, I think you have shown me mercy, since my attachment to my kingdom has spontaneously ceased. Such freedom is prayed for by saintly rulers of vast empires who desire to enter the forest for a life of solitude. Yeah. Again, Muchukund is saying this to Lord Shri Krishna that you have shown me mercy. Why? Yeah, Anugraha Ishate Krito, because his ichha of having the kingdom, of being a Raja, has gone away. Yeah, has gone away because the Lord has shown him the mercy. And then he's saying this is something where sadhu, right, the sons, they go to forest, right? They go to forest. Why? To find the Lord, to do the prayers, to do the tapasya, right? Such freedom is prayed for by saintly rulers of vast empires who desire to enter the forest for a life of solitude. Yeah, and this is what he has got. So he is praising, glorifying Lord Shri Krishna that you have shown me mercy, right? We call him Karuna Sindhu, and because my attachment to even the kingdom has ceased, is what King Muchukund is saying. Anand?
न काम हे अन्यम तव पाद सेवना दकिश्चन प्रार्थ्यत माधुरम विभो आराध्य कस्त्वाम हृपवर्गदम हरे प्रणीत आर्यो वर्मात्म बंधनम. O all-powerful one, I desire no boon other than service to your lotus feet, the boon most eagerly sought by those free of material desire. O Hari, what enlightened person who worships you, the giver of liberation, would choose the boon that causes his own bondage? The Lord offered Muchukund anything he desired, but Muchukunda desired only the Lord. This is pure Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so this is so important. What is mentioned here is, of course, Lord Shri Krishna asks him to ask for anything, and he says that you have shown me the mercy, I have lost the attachment to even my kingdom. Yeah. Only thing in it is Taupada Sevanaya, to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. And who gets this? Aradhya Kastvam Vargaram Hare is saying that the enlightened person who worships you, and then he is addressing Lord Shri Krishna as the giver of the liberation. Yeah. Who would choose a boon that causes his own bondage? Yeah. Atma Bandhanam. Who is going to choose that? I don't want to be entangled into this materialistic world, is what he's saying, into this whole birth and death scenario. He wants the devotional service so that he can go back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Is what he's saying. I desire no boon other than service to your lotus feet. Yeah. And we read about who Muchukund was, right? Anil? म्यूट पे अनिल जी, म्यूट पे आप.
तस्मादि सृज्याशिष ईश सर्वतो रजस्तमः सत्त गुणानुबन्धनाः निरञ्जनं निर्गुण मध्ययं परं त्वां ज्ञाप्तिमात्रं पुरुषं भजाम्यहम्. Therefore, O Lord, having put aside all objects of material desire, which are bound to the modes of passion, ignorance, and goodness, I am approaching you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, for shelter. You are not covered by mundane designations, rather, you are the Supreme Absolute Truth, full in pure knowledge and transcendental to the material modes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so he's just asking. Yeah, he's asking to surrender. Ish Sarvato. He's asking to Sarvato, and he doesn't want to be attached to any of the material gunas. He says here the word, of course, Nirugunam, which we have seen again and again, here indicates that the Lord's existence is beyond the quality of material nature. Right? So even though this material nature originates from the Lord, Lord is beyond these material qualities. Right? What are the material qualities? What are the three material gunas?
Rajoguna, Tamoguna, Satoguna.
Yeah, right? Satoguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And Lord, it has all come from him, but he is beyond those. And so that's what Muchukund is desiring. Nisha?
Chiramiha Rijinartastapyamano Anutape Ravi Trushashadmitro Labdha Shantihi Kathanchita Sharanada Samupetastvat Padabjam Paramatman Bhayamrita Shokam Pahi Mapannamish. For so long I have been pained by troubles in this world and have been burning with lamentation. My 6 enemies are never satiated and I can find no peace. Therefore, O giver of shelter, O supreme soul, please protect me. O Lord, in the midst of danger, I have by good fortune approached your lotus feet, which are the truth and which thus make one fearless and free of sorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, who is saying this? Muchukund, right? Muchukund, Raja, King Muchukund, Lord Krishna is asking him for a boon, but he's not asking for a boon. He's saying he just wants the devotional service. And he's saying, my 6 enemies are never satiated, right? And I can find no peace. Who are the 6 enemies here? He's referring to
The senses.
the senses, right? What are those senses? Which are the
Smell,
right?
taste, touch,
Right?
See,
hear.
See,
smell,
right? Yeah.
hear.
Correct. So those are the 5 Gyanendriyas, right? We got the nose, ear, tongue, eyes,
skin,
and skin. Yeah, skin we feel the touch, eyes we see, nose we smell, ear we hear, and what's one left? Nose,
taste,
ear, eyes,
mouth for taste.
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 Right? The tongue. Tongue is a taste, right? Those are the five. And which is the sixth?
The mind.
Mind. Yeah, that's the one. Those are the six.
Mind.
He's saying those are the six enemies because they are never satisfied. Yeah. We know that we are never satisfied. We want to eat more, we want to hear more, whatever, right? Those are the, so, but he's saying that, so he's praying to the Supreme Soul, please protect me. Yeah. It's my fortune that I have found you, and then I don't want to lose that. He said, Sharanada Samupetastvam Pada Abjamam. Yeah, lotus feet of Paratmam. I have found that, and this is going to take him away from Bhaya Mritam Shokam. Yeah, he is going to be away from that once you take Sharan of Lord's lotus feet. That's what is mentioned. Tarun?
Shri Bhagwan Vacha Sarvabhaumam Maharaj Matiste Vimlorjita Varem Pralobhistasya Yapi Na Kame Vrihata Yataha. The Supreme Lord said, O Emperor, great ruler, your mind is pure and potent. Though I enticed you with benedictions, your mind was not overcome by material desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. No material desires. Yeah. Say here, Kame Vihata Yada. No calm, no material desires. Rinaji?
भितो वरर्यत्वम प्रमादाय विद्धि तत् न धीरे एकांत भक्ता नाम विद्यते कचित. Understand that I enticed you with benedictions just to prove that you would not be deceived. The intelligence of my unalloyed devotees is never diverted by material blessings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. Anil?
Janana Bhaktanam Pranayam Divir Manah Akshina Vasanam Rajanam Drashyate Punaruthitam. The minds of non-devotees who engage in such practices as pranayam are not fully cleansed of material desires. Thus, O king, material desires are again seen to arise in their minds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this?
Lord Sri Krishna.
Right. Yeah. Lord Sri Krishna himself is saying this. Yeah. Very important. What he's saying is the minds of non-devotees. So some people claim to be jnanis, right? Some people just go and do the tapasya, just the meditation, no devotion. Say, yeah, yuja na nam bhaktana. But then what they do? They do the pranayam. They do adi bhimanaha to control the man. Yeah, who engage in such practices as pranayam. But then what happens is they are still not fully cleansed of material desires. Yeah, they are still not fully cleansed of material desires is what is mentioned. Vasanam, akshin vasanam, they are not clean. And even if they clean, what happens? The material desires are again seen to arise in their minds. So that's why we will see that there are sometimes you will find like great saints also, right? Sadhus who have done tapasya, but they have progressed in the Jnana Yoga and all that, but they haven't done the devotional service really. What happens? They control their senses and they actually get control of their senses and they become so powerful. But then what happens again? Because they have not been in the devotional service, drishyate punuruttitam. Punuruttita means they again get back into the material desires. Yeah. And why Lord Sri Krishna is telling this to Muchukund? Because Muchukund is asking for the devotional service. And he's not asking for any material benefits. Once you engage in the devotional service, then essentially what Lord Sri Krishna himself is saying is that most likely, hopefully, the material desires will be gone, right? Will be hidden by itself, is what Lord Sri Krishna is saying himself.
Vicharasva mahi kamam maye avesita manasah astva vevam nityada tubhyam bhaktimayam na payini. Wander this earth at will with your mind fixed on me. May you always possess such unfailing devotion for me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so the Lord Krishna is granting him the unfailing devotion to himself, to King Muchukund. Yeah? Nisha?
क्षात्र धर्म स्थितो जंतुन न्यवधीर्मृगयाधिभिः समाहितस्तपसा जह्यगम मधुपाश्रितः. Because you followed the principles of Kshatriya, you killed living beings while hunting and performing other duties. You must vanquish the sins thus incurred by carefully executing penances while remaining surrendered to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Again, this is so important. Like he is doing darshan of Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah? And Lord Sri Krishna is not giving him liberation. He is saying that you will become my devotee. Right? And at the same time, you must vanquish the sins. Yeah? In his previous births, whatever karmas he has done, those have to be exhausted. Right? So you must vanquish the sins, and doing the tapasya, yeah, madhu upashrita hai. So still keep doing the devotional service, but keep getting rid of the bad karmas is what Lord Sri Krishna is telling Muchukund, who is right in front of him. Right? Very important. Janmanyantare rajan sarvabhuta srinittamah bhutva dvijavaras ve mamu peshyasi kevalam. O king, in your very next life, you will become an excellent Brahman, the greatest well-wisher of all creatures, and certainly come to me alone. Yeah? So Lord Krishna is of course going to go back to him. Mamu peshyasi kevalam. You are going to come back to me alone. When? Janmanya antare raja, next jan ke end mein. You will be a good Brahman, Sarva Bhut Suritam, you will want good for everyone. Right? And then at the end, you will certainly come to me, is what Lord Sri Krishna is saying. Reenaji?
Hare Krishna states in the Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Suhridam sarva bhutanam jantva mam santim rachate. A person attains peace by understanding me to be the well-wishing friend of all living beings. Lord Krishna and his pure devotees work together to rescue the fallen souls from the ocean of illusion. This is the real purport of the Krishna consciousness movement. Thus end the purports of the humble servants of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to the 10th canto, 51st chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Deliverance of Muchukunda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
We complete the 51st chapter. Yeah? With what is being mentioned. Lord Krishna and his pure devotees, they work together to rescue the fallen souls from the ocean of illusion. Right? We know all this Maya, illusion, everything we have seen. We just read, this body is not ours. And we read the conversation, such a beautiful conversation, right? Katha of King Muchukund. And then Muchukund gets the deliverance in the next birth. Hello, Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Jai.
So we'll start with the 52nd chapter Rukmini's message to Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah, but we'll pause here, and next Monday we'll start reading about the Rukmini's message to Lord Shri Krishna. Yeah. So meanwhile, we are going to hear the nice kirtan of Hare Krishna. Yeah. That's the part of devotional service. So let's hear that.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
बोलो श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की।
Jai.
जय।
Right, so nice blissful kirtan. That's the part of devotional service, right?
Yeah.
Shonam kirtanam, archanam, padasevanam, vishnu smaranam, sakyam, dashyam, atmanivedanam, right? 9 devotional ways, 9 ways of doing the devotional service. So I think our Srimad Bhagavatam is going good. We are pretty much getting there. And we'll see you next Monday at 9 p.m. Okay? Yeah?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
everyone.
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.